Hello and welcome to a beautiful series on effective communication. First, welcome to the month of October. And like I promised, from now to December, I'm going to be bombarding you guys with different series on effective communication, healing. The concept of trauma bonding is a lot. So if you're listening to me right now, stay tuned to this channel. It's about to get really hot in here. So that you don't miss any notification from me, I want you to click on the subscribe button so that you can, of course, get the notifications each time I post. And it's not just going to be me teaching, there's also going to be assessments, which you'll be sending directly to my Instagram account, my DM. There's going to be assessments. That way you get to also talk to me one-on-one, well, ask me questions via chat. But before we get really into it, I would like to do a quick introduction of myself. For those of you who are probably seeing me for the first time, my name is Tiffany. I'm an emotional intelligence coach, and my goal is to create a high-value society, teach people how to truly control their emotions so that their emotions will control them. A lot of people have been tagged, the woman with the anger issues, the men with the anger issues. A lot of marriages are broken. Why? Because we can't do one thing: regulate our emotions. And then research has shown that, emotional intelligence learning should be taught even in schools, to children when they're growing up, to companies, to leaders. Top leaders right now, research shows that top leaders are people who actually have high emotional intelligence. So you see that this is actually a life skill to have. It is not just a soft skill, it is a life skill. So welcome if you're listening to me. I'm glad to have you here. Let's dive right into it. Welcome back. If you have been watching me for a while, you understand that we don't just go right into our videos. We always start with a breathing exercise. Of course, because mindfulness will, of course, teach you how to fully be present and be aware so that you can fully understand and learn everything there is to learn in today's series. So, close your eyes, taking a deep breath, and breathe out. There's something I do a little bit different, especially when I'm feeling overwhelmed. I take in a long deep breath, then breathe out as loudly as I can with no embarrassment or shame. Just you can scream it if you want, but of course, when you feel tensioned, when you feel pressured, it could be after a long day at work, it could be after a misunderstanding with someone you care about. Just do that. Just breathe and breathe out. And while you're breathing out, make sure you're dropping your shoulders. And the exhaling, of course, is always longer than the inhaling. So, yeah, welcome. This is the introductory session to our effective communication series. I want you to get really comfortable. The reason why I decided to do effective communication is because the rate of conflict, is going up by the day. Marriages are breaking. Why? Because of conflict. Friendships are getting cut off. Why? Because of conflict. People are resigning from their jobs. Why? Because of conflict. Well, not totally, but there are some people, of course, who fall into this category. So, why don't we actually teach how to communicate effectively so that we can indeed resolve our conflict with more emotional intelligence? Now, I've heard people say so many times that avoid conflict. Too. Anything that has to do with wala, they avoid them. I don't like fight. I'm here to bust your bubble today. Conflict is a must. And if anything, you should celebrate conflict because it is during conflict that you get to know people better. It's how people fight say a lot about the kind of person they are. When you have conflict with someone, you should celebrate it and see it as an opportunity to get to know the person better, not avoid it. They say conflict can either break people or bring them together. That's why you see a lot of married couples. The more they fight and they resolve, the closer they get, for those who are committed to making things work. Not for them. For those who are not committed, the conflicts might actually drive them apart. I mean, it's really that simple. So do not, if you're one of those people who always suppress their emotions and run away from conflict, know today that you're not doing yourself a service. It is okay to have conflict. It is an opportunity to grow and learn. So that is number one. Number two thing I'm going to tell you today, which might shock you, is that you should not be yourself. Don't be yourself. I know you've heard so many advice online. Be yourself. Do you? Whoever will stay, will stay. Whoever. Now, for people who have actively worked on themselves and have growth mindset, you rarely hear them say, be yourself. Because a lot of times, especially if you have not done any kind of work on yourself, the yourself that you think you have were the things that you learned while you were growing up. The character you think you have right now were things that you learned from your parents, from your family members, from cousins, from aunties. So these are all learned behaviors, learned characters, and you have now imbibed it into yourself. So you hear people who are very toxic, they will tell you things like, I say it as it is, I don't care. You know me, I don't hide my mouth, I just say it, but as I don't talk am, it don't come up from my mind. Okay, as you don't talk am now, has it have you gained awkwardness? Or has it made you a champion in any way? Have you broken the relationship because you wanted to just say your mind and move on with it, or it has brought you closer to the person? So these are questions you need to ask yourself. For someone who has a growth mindset, be yourself is like one of the worst advice anybody can give you. In a world where we are constantly learning and unlearning and relearning, you can't just be in a fixed point and say, I'm just being myself. I understand the whole concept of self awareness. I mean, I teach self awareness. But if you have the growth mindset, you will understand. You will understand that the opportunity to adapt, especially in an evolving world, is what truly makes you a success. Not because you're static. You have to be fluid as humans because the world is constantly moving. Another good question we should ask ourselves in conflict with someone we deeply care about is that what are we fighting for and what are they fighting for? Now, you need to understand that every single person, even you listening to me right now, you are a hero in your story. Every single person is a hero in their story. So, and this is why it's actually always very funny to me when people say, I need to teach you how to love me. Who are you to teach somebody else how to love you? Who are you to tell somebody else how to behave? Who are you? You can't control what other people do or how they treat you. You can only control yourself. You can only know how you take yourself. I mean, when you say, don't disrespect me, I don't take disrespect, I think you're wasting your time. What you can do is, well, because you have done this, I won't tell you not to do this, but if you do this, this is what I will now do. Because what you really have control over is yourself. Every single person is a hero in their story. Every single person wants to be respected. Every single person wants to be seen. Every single person wants to be loved. So you are feeling disrespected and then you're communicating the disrespect to them. You want them to understand that they are feeling disrespected by also disrespecting them. They are also now feeling disrespected because you don't talk to me like that. Then you guys keep going around in circles. You are saying this, I'm saying this, you are saying this, you too, you said this, you too, you now said this, you said this, you said this. Then there's an unending blaming and accusation going on, and then before you know it, the relationship has ended. The friendship is now toxic. But if you actually sit to understand what is this person fighting for exactly in this conflict, what is this person really trying to communicate? And one thing I've really noticed in conflict really is that it is rarely what they're actually saying, it is always what they are not saying. It is not that anyway, Jabin and me fuck up now because I they call you now, I no go call you again. What they're actually trying to say is that I miss it. I like it when we talk. And when I call you and you don't pick your call, it makes me feel sad. That's what you actually want to say. But instead, you say, I've been calling you for 3 times. I've been calling you all day. Did you not see my call? What are you doing? Now, let me tell you something. The moment the other person feels attacked, they stop listening to you. I'll give you two scenarios. One person says, you always do this. I tell you to wash the dishes, you don't. I tell you to take out the trash, you don't. I tell you to help me do something, you don't. But you rather do it for other people. That is one communication. The other person says, I really feel loved when you do nice things for me, especially when you go out of your way to help me. And when you don't do it, it makes me feel very sad. Which one do you think will be listened to, or which one do you think will get results? What is the difference? Communication. So a lot of women say, this is what do you want in a man? They say, I like a man that can communicate. But a lot of us don't actually communicate. You need to understand that talking is not communicating. You can talk and talk and talk. And the moment you keep talking, you're just talking, the other person blocks you out. So that's when you will hear things like, I'm talking, but she's not hearing me. You can talk all you want and the person will not hear you, not because they are deaf, but because you're not communicating the way they would understand. This series is going to be broken down into different series, like I said, and I want you to, learn everything you can without bombarding you with a lot of information. So I'm going to be ending right here. And then in the next series, I'm going to be teaching self in communication. I promise you it's going to be a very interesting one. So just grab your pen. I know that we're also approaching the end of the year where you also want to make a lot of changes in your life. So I'm here to help. I'm here to hold your hand and assist you however way I can. I take some private coachings. I also have some people that I'm currently mentoring. So if you're interested, send me a WhatsApp message and we'll fix something up. Of course, they're very affordable. So if you want to constantly talk to me one-on-one, you can book my private coaching, my sessions, my research sessions, and you can also book my mentorship. The mentorship is usually for a month. Also, we have the main character course. If you want to be the main character in your story and you're dealing with self-esteem issues, I have a course on that and you can get it on Seller. Yeah, and I also just released a course with Sheyi, the assistant. If you know him on Instagram, he's a financial educator. He broke down the myth behind how we perceive wealth to be. So if you're interested in getting that course, it is also currently running. Send me a WhatsApp message. My WhatsApp link, of course, will be in the description of this video. So guys, we've come to the end of this series, and the assessment for today will be for you to send me a DM on Instagram. Send me a DM on Instagram telling me one particular situation that happened and where you felt that you didn't communicate properly. One particular instance that happened with your partner or at work and you felt like you communicated really poorly. I want you to talk to me, send me a message, and I'm sure I'll have a word of advice for you on how to proceed or how you can do better should in case that kind of thing repeats itself. So guys, I'll see you in the next video. Keep shining, keep healing, and keep mastering your emotions. Bye.